By the way,
Cap, first of all, if your name's Woody Johnson, don't you change your first name?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Or you brag about it.
Wow.
Don't call a doctor. Tell your friends.
Your breakdown of the All 22, which you can find, by the way, on all the ESP 1000 social channels, is spectacular.
Well, that's kind of you to say. It's very crude at the moment. Like I put together like 8 or 9 plays and sent them in to Brendan and Eric, and I'll be able to kind of do it a little cleaner going forward. I'm not going to be like Dan Orlovsky. I don't have the don't have the talent with all of the arrows going different directions and stuff. But kind of crude, but it'll get more refined as time goes on. But I keep it simple too. I think it's silly to try to talk above people, so I just keep it very basic and very simple. But there was some stuff that we looked at that really showed up. Did they reinvent the wheel? No, I don't think they reinvented the wheel. I was telling Shay, at the end of the day, they ran 5 wide receiver screens, and the difference between this group running.
Yeah, they blocked the edge.
Absolutely, Cap. And one of them, Rome actually drives a guy 10 yards into the Bears' sideline.
Yeah, and there was another one DJ caught where Keenan Allen actually did his job.
Yes, and so I guess the point I'm making is I don't think that structurally there was a whole lot different, approach. I think what they did was they emphasized. I'll say this: Thomas Brown's message resonated with that team for whatever reason. You could see in the way they execute it. They execute it more cleanly than they have the previous 3 games. And I'm just going to say that you want to call it effort, you want to call it motivation, you call it whatever it is. I saw a team that played cleaner and harder on film. Now, it didn't end in a win, but if you ask me what the difference was with Thomas Brown, it was that. They were very quick in and out of the huddle, call the play, get to the line of scrimmage, run the play, get back in the huddle. I thought there was an emphasis, obviously, on getting the ball out quick. I thought Thomas did a really nice job putting the read option back into the game plan so that you could use Caleb's ability to run the football. He's not Justin. Justin's one of one when it comes to running the ball in the manner in which we saw the previous 3 years, but Caleb can run it, and you should use it. I thought it was a really good decision as well because if you watch the Packers on film, their front 7 is very aggressive, and they get out of their lanes, and they're undisciplined at times. And they beautifully ran that read option on a number of occasions, I think on 3rd down a couple of times, and certainly on the 4th down as well. I thought Caleb ejected the pocket. 1, 2, 3, don't see it, eject the pocket, run. I actually, guys, thought that Caleb, he did more damage with his legs than his arm up until the two-minute drive. Because if you look at that game statistically, there was only, until the 2-minute drive, there was only one pass play that was completed that traveled more than 10 yards, and that was the beautiful sail route he threw to Cole Kmet. So it wasn't like, hey, they were chewing up the Packers, pushing the ball downfield. What they did is they eliminated the negative plays. They moved the ball forward. They didn't get behind the chains. They were very good on 3rd down, 9 of 16. Caleb got the football out. They kept it simple, and they executed significantly better.
So, Tom, would you say that the difference between Waldron and Brown is that Waldron wanted Caleb to be more of a pocket passer, and then Brown said, listen, whatever it takes, you got to get that first down?
Yeah, Jonathan, I think more than anything, I think they simplified things. I think what happened was that Shane Waldron, remember, the story was that Shane Waldron, as soon as Shane was hired, they gave the kid the playbook, right? And that was it March or April or whatever it was.
Before they even drafted him.
Yeah, and look, I understood the concept of it. Caleb is immensely talented. He's very mature. He's got a high football IQ. So what they did is just threw everything at him, Jonathan. And it's like, well, if he has some issues or some bumps along the way, he's mature enough that it won't ruin him. Well, I think that, simple is better sometimes, and I think there was just too much in his head, and getting to the line of scrimmage and setting protections and audibling in and out of plays and all that fake kind of up-tempo stuff. Instead of that Denny's menu that Nagy used to carry around, I'm going to give you an index card. You put your top 20 plays, and if you can't fit 20 on them and it's only 17, so be it. But we're going to run more basic stuff. We're going to emphasize getting the ball out, which eliminates negative plays, and it helps your offensive line that has struggled all season long. And once we become more efficient and we get a little of momentum and we look better, then we can add stuff. And it's what you've seen over the course of time with Denver and Bo Nix. It's exactly what you've seen with Washington and Jaden Daniels, and I think also in New England as well. I think we threw the whole buffet at him, when maybe you should have started with the kids menu.
All right, more with Tommy because his man crush could be available. We'll get Tommy's thoughts.
That's nonsense.
We said could. We'll be right back.
Tommy, we're talking about the defense, and coming into the season and all summer, I think all the shows are talking about the strength of the team being the defense. And it's not talked enough about, when you're missing players in the secondary on the line, it can be very difficult. But, boy, I just feel like I think that the Bears are taking advantage of, especially against the run, over 100 yards seems like every game.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, what can the Bears do about it against the Vikings? Again, a good offense. Maybe Hicks will play. We know that Billings is out, so I want to get your thoughts about it.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think that, and also I think the Montez Sweat's not healthy. You can tell. I mean, whether it's the shin or the ankle or a combination of both, I think he's too good a player to come to the conclusion that he's just having a bad year. My conclusion is he's not healthy, and that's why he's not been as big an impact. I think you've seen it tail off in the production from Dexter. I think not having Brisker hurts quite a bit in terms of stopping the run. Look, I think one of the reasons why they held the Packers to just, 366 yards is because the Packers only had 43 plays. The Bears' offense dominated time of possession. They held the ball for 36 minutes. At the end of the day, the Packers averaged 8.5 yards per play to the Bears' 5.8, and they averaged 14.4 yards per pass attempt. So I think the key to not letting the Packers get away from you was keeping them on the sidelines, and also they played well in the red zone. And Jonathan, that's where I think this team has really saved themselves. They're the number one red zone defense in the entire league. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was really weird and I love LaFleur as a coach. I think he's fantastic, but he went for it on 4th and goal from the 6-yard line.
That shocked me.
Because he's got the worst red zone offense statistically, and the Bears are the best red zone defense. That's where you take analytics and you push it out the window, because I don't care what a random, two teams playing 4th and goal at the 6, what the analytics will tell you. You have to know your team and the team you're facing. And that would have factored in, for me, I would have kicked the field goal. But LaFleur decided to go for it. Against the Vikings, Jonathan, quarterback's thrown 5 interceptions in the last 3 games. This is their 3rd straight road game and fourth game on the road out of their last 5. The offense has cooled a little bit, so I think there's a chance that that you catch the Vikings at the right time, if there's a right time. I think you always start with stopping the run. Their biggest problem, though, guys, is they generate 0 pass rush these days.
Yep.
And if you let Darnold sit back there, you let any quarterback
They'll pick you apart.
Yeah, so the key for me, Jonathan, would be obviously you got to try to be stiffer against the run, but you got to put some pressure on the opposing quarterback, and it's something that they haven't been able to do since the bye.
Shanny is reportedly on the hot seat in San Francisco.
Come on. Who's reporting?
Tommy, I'm just reading what the San Francisco media is writing.
Weren't they in the Super Bowl last year?
Were they in the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
They lost, weren't they? Didn't they lose to the Chiefs in overtime?
So the report is that he's on the hot seat. I don't know if he's having issues with ownership or John Lynch. I don't think he's getting fired. I don't. But if he became available,
I would drive cross country. I would actually ride a motorcycle I would ride a bike cross country to pick him up and bring him back. Or this is what I would do, guys. I would ride a bike cross country to give him a first class ticket on a private jet to come here, and then I'd take my bike back.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Impossible because I'm 57 and completely broken.
There's no way that he is getting fired. I don't think.
No, I wouldn't.
But if there is a coaching change, which I believe one is due and one is coming, I want someone who has been a head coach before. I don't want flavor of the day again. And that doesn't mean they're not good coaches. I want a proven head coach. What do you say?
Yes, if that's where we're going, then Shanahan would be at the top of my list. He'd be above Ben Johnson.
Let's assume he's not available.
This is unbelievable, this conversation.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I'm the first one at the dance, and I've already got the girl, and here you come late. I told you this after year 2 that was enough. I saw the issues.
Oh, you were way ahead of you said it the day he got hired. Literally.
Well,
Breaking news.
Well.
Matt Eberflus is going to be named Bears coach per Adam Johns or whoever
I
it was.
remember Hoodie was
And
like,
Hoodie
this
goes,
is your A to B guy.
Yeah, he won't make it to Arlington Heights. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And also, Tommy was tongue-in-cheek about the state. It's how things move slowly around here.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, but still,
It's just so sad that this is the conversation that dominates all of our talk.
Every 3 years.
But even now, Cap, I mean, they've played 10 games. And this conversation started several weeks ago. It's not our fault. I mean, they're the ones that have put themselves in this situation.
No question.
And I get why this is a topic of conversation that dominates what we do all day long, but it's just it makes me a little depressed. I'm not going to lie about that. If you get look, I think if changing coaches is what their destiny is, you know how I feel. I would prefer an offensive minded guy because of the quarterback. I'm not married to that. I would just need to know who your offensive coordinator or your offensive answer is before I would feel 100% comfortable. But I just hate having this conversation every 3 years. It sucks.
it does. Absolutely, it does.
Sucks.
Agreed.
I'm looking to beat the Vikings, Jonathan. That's what I'm looking to do. My focus is on the Vikings. Give Paul Allen a piece of my mind. No, I won't.
Let's not do that.
Yeah,
Let's not do
I
that.
love Paul.
And so you like the Bears plus 6.5 or
I would
3.5.
Yeah,
Is it 3?
Is it
3.5.
3.5?
3.5.
I see this as like a 23-20 score. I think the Vikings are tired. This is their third road game. 4 and 5 weeks. The offense has kind of sputtered a little bit more than normal. Listen. They got a huge boost from the firing of the offensive coordinator. Is that everlasting? Does it last beyond a week? We'll find out. This will be Caleb's greatest, most difficult challenge as a young rookie quarterback in the league because Brian Flores is going to show him things he didn't think were humanly possible.
All right, coming up in the next segment, we'll talk to Waddle about whether or not Hines Ward is going to be a Hall of Famer as he's on this list. And Anquan Bolden. That's coming up next.
Tommy, have a great day.
See you,
buddy.
fellas. Always enjoy the conversations.
However, I do want to have that conversation about Ricky Waters with you at some point. We'll do that again.
Not a Hall of Famer.
The list is out, you see. So.
Not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. And Vince Wilfork, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame overalls.
Oh,
Like when Vince puts the overalls on with no shirt underneath,
it's the best.
I got to tell you, I get excited.
All right, we got to go.